All right, in our previous podcast, we talked about how to log in to Google Sites in order to edit your web page. One thing that I did not include was that the first time you log in, it will prompt you to reset your password. I may not have created that setting when I did the Joe Teacher account, so I don't think we saw it, but it will be there just to be sure. So to review, click on Google Apps on the main page and log in with the same username that you use here at Sunnyside, and then whatever password you set up with the very first time that you logged in. And then click on Sites, and it will give you a listing of the websites that have been shared with your account. And you click on your name, and you will see this beautifully simple web page come up. Now today we're going to talk about some basic changes that you can make to this web page. Okay, and so the very first thing you want to do is take a look at these classes here. Now, in another podcast, we will cover what you need to do if you have 3 preps. This assumes that you have 2. So, for example, if I'm a math teacher, this assumes that I teach Algebra 1 and I also teach Algebra 2. If I teach Algebra 1, maybe I can use one of these for an ECAP. Or you can delete it entirely, and that's another option that we'll talk about at another date. But we're going to talk about some basic information, and we are going to start with updating this to reflect the names of your classes. I know that we've got all this information that needs to be added there, but for some reason, this bothers me more. So I'm going to click on Class 1, and I go to my Class 1 homepage. Okay, now once again, we have our links to our basic Google services provided with the account up here at the top, and we have our buttons Create Page, Edit Page, and More Actions. All right, you will need to remember those pages, or remember those buttons, and we will continue to refer to them frequently as we go through. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to click on Edit Page, because here's the thing. When we change this text here, this text will automatically change. So I click Edit Page, and it brings me to this view. Now, this toolbar up here should be relatively familiar to you. It's got an undo button, which many of you will be very happy with many different times. I know I've used the undo button countless times. I wish life had an undo button. You have an insert menu that we'll talk about quite extensively in the future. A format button to deal with your mostly text, dealing with formatting text. You probably won't use this much. An insert table button, or menu, excuse me, I keep calling these buttons, these are menus, and a layout menu. You will probably never use any of these 4. This is far more common. You might use this to change your font, use this to change your font size. Do you want it bold, italicized, underlined, etc. Background color, text color, and of course the helpful thing is when you wiggle your mouse over the button, a little thing pops up that tells you what it is. You got numbered lists, bullets, increase indent, decrease indent, left, right, and center, just like the NPR podcast, or KCRW podcast, excuse me. And over here, this is how to create a link. Now, our very basic action here is to take this, and we're going to assume that Joe Teacher is a science teacher, and Joe Teacher teaches biology. Okay? And I will then come up here. This Save button is your friend. It's in the upper right hand corner, and it is your friend. So when I click on Save, what you will see is that Class 1 magically turned into the word biology to reflect this. Okay, so let's do the same with class 2. Now if you remember, all right, we can click on class 2. We have to go up here to edit page. We can either highlight the text to replace it, or we can just hit the backspace. And for this one, maybe we teach science and the environment. And once again, the save button is your friend. Okay, so we click save. Now that's a little squished over there. Maybe I want to edit it a little bit more. I probably shouldn't be so, concerned about it when I'm just doing a podcast to introduce you how to do it. But I'm going to abbreviate it a little bit and hope that my students figure it out. If they don't figure it out, might have to make a change. Oh, good. Now it fits on the same line. Anyway, so there it is. Nice and pretty. Okay? So I'm going to go back to the home page so that I can deal with all of this information here. The first thing it says here is picture. I'm going to do that last because I do believe it's the least important. But the extension is important. All right? So I might put 520, 545, 9999. Of course I do that because I don't know, I have no idea who's going to pick up the phone if I put 5999 or something like that, so I'll just avoid it. My email address is joet at excuse me, swine flu, susd12.org. And my class schedule is that, let's see here, first period. And you know what? This is actually a great time to show you when you might need to use a table. You don't have to, but I've got 6 periods, right, plus an ECAP, and so that would give me 7 rows. All right, so I'm going to come here to table. I'm going to do 1 column for periods and 1 column for the name of the class. All right. Now it says I'm up to 5, but I'll show you a trick. Okay. So here, all right, I'm going to say period 1. Theoretically, I could just say 1. It's really kind of up to you. And let's see here, we're going to make it a little wider. Let's see, I just grabbed it and moved it over a little bit there. And then do the same over here. Again, this makes it look nice, okay, so that it's not quite so messy. So I might say biology, period 2. Biology, period 3, or I'm sorry, excuse me, ECAP. I have freshman. And you'll notice that the size of the columns, all right, changes according to the size of the text. So then down here, period 3, science and the environment. Pull that aside just to make it fit and make it look all pretty. Period 4, plan. And now I'm going to go up to the table menu and insert row down. Wow, that's amazing. Period 5, period, oops, excuse me. And we will go over the next in the next podcast.